So the Firestore database is blank, and we have our beautiful profile page right here that we want to kind of be able to now say the user is going to be Elvilde, the first name is going to be Lars, second name, blah, 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 Vilde, right? So we want to press the save button, then we want to kind of save this guy to the backend, right? Or to the database. Now, how do we do that? Let's just start with the end, with the beginning, just looking at the HTML right here. Now we have the button right here that's going to be disabled until the form is valid. And when we click that button, we're going to hit the save function right here in the profile component. Now that save function is pretty much just going to kind of try and save the user inside our user service. So all we have to do is kind of say this user service right here, and then the update function we just built in the last lesson, and then we need to pass in the user. Now how do we get the user? Well, we're just going to use, like we've done before, we're going to use a constant, and let's just call it model for now. And we're going to get the data from the constant from the profile form, right? Because the form can inform me and tell me what kind of values we've set inside the form. The profile form is all of these values, right? So we can just write .value right here, and then we'll get that information from the form. We can do another thing right here. We can just convert it so it knows it's a user right here. That means that I can now start on the model to get specific values that the user has available. So I can actually start seeing all these properties available on my model right here now. And that means that we can go in, because there's one very important thing that the profile does not have right now, and that's actually the UID, the unique identifier. But we can get that unique ID from the actual user that we have locally. Now that's because when we started this on init right here, we actually got the authenticated user from the user service, and we kind of pasted him into the local user right here. So we can now use that user to kind of get the unique identifier for this user. And yes, we need that, because when you go into the user service, we're using the unique identifier to identify which object we should actually update on the backend. So now that is done, we have the update now, and that pretty much just needs to get some kind of user in there, and we just called it model, but it's still a user. Now one more thing I want to do is when we're done, I want to call the then right here, and I just want to console log saved, right? So just to show you that it's saved, and I want to do another right here, the catch, just to kind of say if it didn't save, then just kind of console log the error, right? So if something goes horribly wrong, we're going to try this, at least let's log it, right? So error, comma, and then just error. There we go. So we just wanted this. Now that should be all we had to do. Now it complains right here probably because we need some kind of, oh yeah, of course, I didn't add the error notation, right? That's a problem. So there we go. Now we're up and running. Now we have the update called. When we kind of press the save button, we're going to try and save this to the backend. Let's see if it works. Dumping into the code right here, and I'm going to make a user. Let's just call him Elvilde. I'm going to make a first name, that's Lars. I'm going to make a middle name, that's nothing, and just add the builder in the end right here. Let's try and save this. So hopefully it comes back with the saved right here, not an error. That means that it tried to save it. I want it to be a toast later. We can put that in later. Let's try and check out our collection here in Firebase. Now, since I've deleted and updated a few times, sometimes I actually experienced that it couldn't figure out how to actually open the document. But this time it succeeded, and I actually got my beautiful document in here. Yay! So now we have a document. We have the unique identifier as the actual document unique ID here for the user. So this is a specific user with a specific UID, and he has these properties available for now. We forgot the middle name, so let's try and add that. Let me just try and show you one more thing before we end this video. So I need to add the middle name here, and let's just call myself middle name of Bob. That's not my right middle name, but who cares? Now when I save this, let's see what happens. Jumping back in here, does it actually update? There we go. So we had, oh, sorry about that, but we had live update actually. I just pressed the button a bit too fast there, but we actually had live update. Let me just try and do it again. Let's just write 2 here and save, and you'll notice right away we're getting Bob changed, and we got some kind of yellow indicator explaining that it actually changed. So that was pretty much all we had to do. Now Firebase is updated right here with all the information, and even when I go and change information right here and save it, you'll notice that it's actually also changed on Firebase directly. So we have a full running access point right here, and that's awesome. Next lesson we'll try and figure out how we can then get the data back, because right now if I refresh, I get a blank field right here because I'm still not getting the data from Firebase. We'll do that next time. Have fun.